In the heart of ancient Tenochtitlan, where pyramids pierced the sky and incense smoke carried prayers to the heavens, a profound mythology flourished that would shape the destiny of millions. As the sun rose each morning over the Valley of Mexico, priests would climb the steep steps of their temples, their hearts beating in rhythm with an ancient truth, that their world balanced precariously between order and chaos, sustained only by the sacred blood that fed their gods. Let us begin with the tale of the fifth sun, for in this story lies the essence of Aztec thought. The gods had already created and destroyed 4 worlds before ours, each ending in catastrophic failure. The first sun was devoured by jaguars, the second blown away by hurricane winds, the third destroyed by fiery rain, and the fourth drowned in an endless flood. When it came time to create the fifth and current world, the gods gathered in Teotihuacan, the birthplace of creation. They needed a volunteer to become the new sun, to sacrifice themselves for the continuation of existence itself. 2 gods stepped forward: wealthy, proud Tezcatlipoca and humble, scarred Nanahuatzin. A great fire was built, and after 4 days of fasting, the moment of truth arrived. Tezcatlipoca approached the flames 4 times, but could not bring himself to jump. Then Nanahuatzin, without hesitation, threw himself into the inferno. Seeing this, Tezcatlipoca finally followed. From their sacrifice rose 2 suns in the sky, but the gods knew this could not be. One of the deities threw a rabbit at Tezcatlipoca, dimming his light, thus creating the moon. Nanahuatzin became Tonatiuh, the sun god who would demand sacrifice to continue his daily journey across the sky. This narrative encapsulates the core of Aztec religious thought, the concept of sacrifice as the fundamental force that moves the universe. The Aztecs flourished in central Mexico from the 14th to the 16th centuries CE, building an empire that would become one of the most powerful Mesoamerican civilizations. Their mythology wasn't merely a collection of stories. It was a complex philosophical system that explained the nature of reality itself. The significance of Aztec mythology to its people cannot be overstated. Every aspect of life, from the grandest state ceremonies to the smallest domestic rituals, was governed by their mythological worldview. The Aztecs saw themselves as the people of the sun, chosen by the gods to prevent the apocalypse through ritual sacrifice and warfare. Their capital city, Tenochtitlan, was believed to be the center of the universe, where the vertical axis connecting the heavens, earth, and underworld intersected with the 4 cardinal directions, each associated with different gods and powers. The Aztec creation story begins in the void, in the time before time. In the highest heaven dwelt Ometeotl, the dual god, both male and female, both mother and father to all that would come to be. From Ometeotl emerged 4 sons, the Tezcatlipocas, each associated with a cardinal direction and a color. Blue Tezcatlipoca of the south, white Tezcatlipoca, Quetzalcoatl of the east, red Tezcatlipoca, Xipe of the west, and black Tezcatlipoca of the north. These 4 gods attempted to create order from chaos, but their first efforts were marked by cosmic struggles and repeated failures. The earth goddess Tlaloc was a fearsome monster, part crocodile and part fish, whose endless hunger threatened to devour everything in creation. The gods decided they must destroy her, but in doing so, they would need to use her body to create the world itself. Quetzalcoatl and Tezcatlipoca, transforming themselves into mighty serpents, descended from the heavens and tore Tlaloc apart. From her body, they fashioned the physical world. Her back became the earth, her hair transformed into trees and flowers, her eyes formed caves and wells, her mouth became rivers and large bodies of water, and her nose shaped the valleys and mountains. Her grief-stricken cries could be heard in the night, and she would only be consoled by consuming human hearts, thus establishing the necessity of sacrifice to maintain cosmic order. But the creation was not complete without humans to populate it. After several attempts at creating humanity, first from ashes, then from mud, the god Quetzalcoatl journeyed to Mictlan, the underworld, to retrieve the bones of previous generations. These precious bones were ground into flour and mixed with the blood of the gods, finally creating humans who could sustain themselves and worship the deities. The Aztec pantheon was vast and complex, with hundreds of deities organizing the cosmos into a delicate balance of opposing forces. At the pinnacle of this divine hierarchy stood Huitzilopochtli, the dual deity of duality and unity, who rarely interacted directly with the mortal world, but whose energy flowed through all creation. Huitzilopochtli, the principal deity of the Aztec people, was the god of sun and war. Born fully grown and armed for battle from his mother Quetzalcoatl, he defended the cosmic order by defeating his sister Quetzalcoatl and the 400 stars, his brothers. This mythic battle was recreated daily, as Huitzilopochtli fought through the darkness to bring forth the dawn, requiring human sacrifice to maintain his strength. Tlaloc, the ancient god of rain and lightning, ruled over agricultural fertility and the paradise of Tlalocan. His domain was crucial to survival, but he could also bring devastating storms and drought. Alongside him stood his consort Tezcatlipoca, goddess of rivers, lakes, and oceans, who protected women in childbirth and ruled over the fourth of the 13 heavens. Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, embodied wisdom, learning, and civilization. As the god of wind and air, he brought the gifts of agriculture, mathematics, and writing to humanity. His eternal conflict with Tezcatlipoca, the smoking mirror, represented the cosmic struggle between light and darkness, order and chaos. Tezcatlipoca himself was one of the most complex and fearsome deities. As the god of destiny, time, and the night sky, he could see all through his obsidian mirror and tested humans through trials and temptations. His name carried multiple meanings: smoking mirror, he who makes slaves of us all, and enemy of both sides, reflecting his multifaceted nature as both creator and destroyer. Quetzalcoatl, she of the serpent skirt, was the earth goddess who gave birth to the moon, stars, and Huitzilopochtli. Her fearsome aspect, decorated with skulls and serpents, represented both the nurturing and devouring aspects of the Earth Mother. Her daughter, Quetzalcoatl, the moon goddess, was dismembered by Huitzilopochtli, and her image at the base of his great temple in Tenochtitlan served as a powerful symbol of cosmic order triumphing over chaos. Mictlan and his wife Quetzalcoatl ruled over Mictlan, the underworld. Unlike other Mesoamerican cultures that viewed the underworld primarily as a place of punishment, the Aztec Mictlan was simply the destination for those who died ordinary deaths. The journey through the 9 levels of Mictlan took 4 years and required the deceased to overcome numerous challenges. Xiptotec, our Lord the Flayed One, governed the renewal of vegetation and the changing of seasons. His gruesome appearance, wearing the flayed skin of sacrificial victims, represented the way plants shed their old covering to reveal new growth beneath, making him particularly important to agricultural cycles. The pantheon also included numerous lesser deities who governed specific aspects of life. Xochiquetzal, the goddess of beauty and the arts; Quetzalcoatl, god of medicine and healing; Mayahuel, goddess of maguey and pulque, and hundreds more, each with their own domains, rituals, and significance in the complex web of Aztec religious life. The Aztec world was populated by an array of supernatural beings, each serving as a metaphor for natural forces or moral lessons. Among the most fearsome was the Huitzilopochtli, a water-dwelling creature resembling a small dog with a hand at the end of its tail. It would use this hand to grab unwary victims and drag them to watery deaths, targeting specifically those who abused water resources or violated taboos related to water usage. The Cihuateteo were the spirits of women who died in childbirth, considered equivalent to warriors who fell in battle. These fearsome entities would haunt crossroads during certain celestial events, stealing children and causing seizures in young men. Their existence highlighted the Aztec belief that bearing children was a form of combat, equally as noble as warfare. Among the most distinctive creatures were the Tzitzimime, star demons who threatened to descend and devour humanity during solar eclipses. These female skeletal beings represented the stars that become visible during an eclipse, and their threat of cosmic destruction reinforced the importance of maintaining ritual obligations to keep the world in balance. The Nahual, or shapeshifters, occupied a unique position in Aztec mythology. These were not necessarily evil beings, but rather humans, with the ability to transform into animals, often serving as guardians or protectors of communities. The concept of the Nahual reflected the Aztec belief in the fluid boundaries between human and animal natures. One of the most enigmatic creatures was the Mictlan, or cloud serpent, often depicted as a serpent wrapped in clouds or wearing stellar decorations. This being represented both a deity and a class of atmospheric phenomena, embodying the Aztec tendency to see divine presence in natural events. The dreaded Quinametsin were giants who, according to myth, had built the ancient cities and pyramids found throughout Mexico. Their existence explained the monumental architecture of previous civilizations, while also serving as a warning about the cyclical nature of creation. They had been destroyed in one of the previous suns for their hubris. Among the protection spirits were the Chanike, small beings who guarded bodies of water and could either help or hinder fishermen depending on how they were treated. Their presence in folklore emphasized the importance of maintaining respectful relationships with natural resources. The Aztec mythological tradition embedded profound moral teachings within its complex narratives, establishing a sophisticated ethical framework that guided both individual conduct and societal organization. At its core, Aztec morality centered around the concept of Neltilistli, the fundamental truth or rootedness that one should strive to achieve in life.